Sitting here with Tom Erikson, assistant coach at Purdue University, and he's also team leader for the junior duels. Tell us what you do with the team leader. What does that do with the ISWA in this trip?
Well, I've worked with the ISWA, gosh, it's been a long time. 7 years, 6-7 years, the 6th, 7th year that I've been involved with this team, the junior duels team. I used to coach it, and then as I coached it, I used to kind of complain, hey, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? So I think the ISWA got tired of it and made me the team leader to really teach me a lesson. And so now this is the 4th year I've been a team leader. It basically, you know, you joked with me before, oh, it's got a lot of work, a little stress. I said, yeah, it's more stress because I feel I'm pretty competitive. And putting this team together, I want a team that can compete. And when I coached it, I always wanted a team that can compete. I think Indiana wrestling has come a long way where they can be competitive at a national level. And I always got tired of hearing the little murmurs about, oh, if we had this guy, we'd have been better. If we had that guy, this guy. Well, it's my job to get this guy and that guy and put them on this team and be competitive. I think some of the most interesting conversations I have are with some of the people in the ISWA as I go through some of the criteria and it brings somebody on there, I end up trying to put somebody else on there who I feel is a very quality wrestler and stuff like that. So I cause enough conflicts with them, but you know, this year we've got a great team together and a freestyle team, missing a couple in Greco, but I think we'll be competitive in Oklahoma City this year.
Okay, Purdue has kind of got a lot of Indiana recruits this year. Can you kind of comment on the Indiana incoming freshmen a little bit?
Well, I can't really talk about our classes, so to speak, but I can say this in terms of our commitment at Purdue with Coach Hinkle. I think Coach Reyes, I've been there for 2 coaches now, Coach Reyes had a thought about that, but I think Coach Hinkle's emphasis is more about keeping the best kids in the state. We want to get that message out in terms of we want the best wrestlers to stay here in the state. That means Purdue, not the other place. It means Purdue. And we made, in the last couple of years, we've made a concerted effort to let the coaches around the state know we want their kids to come to Purdue. You know, we want them to have success and come to Purdue. And what we've tried to do is get out there and do some of the RTCs. You know, it hasn't worked out where we've gotten all of them. We've had some mix-up with our coaches. Some of our coaches kind of do off and do their own little thing. We're going to resolve that. But we want to get out there and let them know we want your kid. We want them to come to our camp, but we want to know them. We want to establish relationships with them. Then let's get them to Purdue, and that way they can represent the state of Indiana.
So this year you only graduate 1 wrestler, Jake Pataskal, returning or an All-American this year. How's the team looking for next year?
Well, we had 5 national qualifiers. We bring 4 of them back. Jake was one of them. We bring 4 of them back. The sad part of that 4, we're going to redshirt one of them. A.J. Kissel is a 2-time national qualifier for us. We'll redshirt this year. It's our intention to. I mean, you know, when the end of the year, March comes along and he's in the lineup, you say Coach lied. It's our intention to redshirt it. As far as replacing Jake Pataskal, in the wrestling world, it's kind of hard to replace someone like that. The guy was a freak on top. He was just he set every record that we have in Purdue as far as tilts and back points and things like that, the number of it. Just phenomenal on top. He was always a big bonus source for us. You know, a tech fall, major decision tech fall, going into match. So that's going to be tough to replace. Ironically enough, we signed a young man from Florida named Kendrick Sanders, who was a Greco junior national champion, 3-time state champion from Florida, the same state as Jake. So there's a chance he may start. You know, we'll have to kind of feel out and see what happens. But I look for some excitement from our guys. And we're going to go out there and wrestle hard. That's all we can do. We can guarantee we're going to go out there and compete hard with everybody.
How's the schedule looking next year? You guys have any good featured home duels or anything?
The schedule, we have a brutal schedule. We wrestled 12 of the top 25 teams from last year, and that's kind of deceiving in a sense because we wrestled 8 mandatory duels in the Big Ten, and all 11 teams finished in the top 25. So the other one's non-conference. We're going to wrestle Old Dominion. We're going to go out to Norfolk, Virginia, wrestle Old Dominion. We're going to Columbia, Missouri, and we're going to wrestle Missouri in their gym. Then we go to Ashland, Ohio. We're going to wrestle Kent State and the University of Maryland. 2 more top 25 teams. So we've got a nice little schedule. We've got a couple a little bit easier in Christmas time. Right there, we're going to wrestle University of Indianapolis, Southern Illinois, Lakeland College, Mount St. Joseph's, and maybe Kendrick McHenry College is going to come in, something like that. It's a little bit easier. It's right after finals. And then, of course, we got the Midlands, very competitive. The Las Vegas Invitational, nice. Then we open up with the Eastern Michigan Open. So we have a little bit more mature team, definitely a lot tougher schedule. The good thing about marquee duels, well, we got 4. Ohio State comes to our place, and Iowa comes to our place. So that's number 1 and 2 teams in the country. And looking down the road, big picture, both Old Dominion and Missouri come to our place next year. So we got that guarantee. So we did a home and home. Russell will go to their place this year, but next year they're going to come to our place. So we have 2 big ones, Iowa and Ohio State. Well, they go out, then Old Dominion and Missouri will come to our place. So we're always going to have, plus our complements of other Big Ten teams. So we're going to have a nice, exciting schedule for people, for fans.
Is there anything else you want to talk about Purdue, or like anything for Indiana wrestling you want to say?
No, I think Indiana wrestling's on the rise. That the one reason we want to keep the best kids in the state, because I think we got good kids in the state of Indiana. And the way you develop good kids is by kids coming to camp, getting on teams like this, going to camp. Look, this is a plug kind of for our camp. I'd love to see kids come to our camp, but we encourage go to camp in general. I think the biggest problem that we have, at Purdue is we want to keep the best kids in state, and then a coach will come to us and say, hey, we got a great kid. And, well, here's his resume, so to speak, and you look on the resume, and he was the takedown. He went to the takedown camp at Michigan. He went to the Ohio State camp. He went to that camp. I'm like, there's no Indiana camps on here. Either us, Wabash, IU. Go to camp. I mean, look, we're not the only show in town. Go to a camp. Stay in state. We want the best kids in state. We'd like to see them come to our camp, but you know what? Go to camp. Let the coaches in state. Let's really pump up the level of wrestling in the state of Indiana. To do that, you need to go to camp. You need to get exposure. You need to challenge yourself in tournaments like this, the junior duels, cadet duels. You go to central regionals. We feel if the state of Indiana wrestling goes up, our state of wrestling will go up in Purdue, and we'll achieve our goal of being national champions. You got to believe it first before you can do it. To say it's kind of funny, how you win national title. I know it's fun, but you know what? If I don't truly believe it, how's it ever going to happen?
Okay, thank you for your time.
Not a problem, at any time.